Hello and welcome to the Divine Light Healing Circle. I'm Krista Bedwin and I'm substituting for Claudia Granger as usual. The image behind us is a lovely image from Jean-Luc Bazzoli, which offers us a number of images that are beautiful. And our theme tonight is teaching. So we're going to give thanks and healing to all the teachers that we know, all of the teachers, even that we might not think of all of the time, but we will invite them in and we will send healing and love and gratitude for all the teachers in our lives, whether they are called teachers or we didn't even realize where we're getting the teaching from sometimes. So welcome. Please get comfortable. Relax. Feel peaceful. Breathe in deeply. And begin to feel our guides and guardians, who can indeed also be our teachers, coming to join us. Just feel the light flowing in from the universe, flowing into the top of our head. Just feel it raining down all the way through your body, from the top to the bottom. You can feel the energy of the divine and the spirits that surround us. Feel that seeping in through your skin and swirling as it enters your aura and your body, your energy body. So just visualize the light filling you, however it chooses to fill you, all the way from the top of you, all the way down to the bottom. And so the last time we meditated, we talked about connections, and we felt the connections of many people and beings, and with the earth, and with the interconnectedness of our ecosystem. And this meditation, they've told me, is to take that a step further and think particularly at this moment of your place in that network. So first of all, think of the teachers you have received wisdom from. That may begin with your grandparents or your parents or other elders. And an interesting message that they wanted me to share is that does not matter if you knew your grandparents or your parents. There's theory that we learn from our parents even when we never met them. And I will share with you a piece of evidence. I have a daughter who is adopted to other parents. She has never met her father. She meets me occasionally. But without knowing that I play the flute, she chose the flute as well. And without ever meeting her father, she's an amazing ski racer, and he's a ski instructor and has been skiing professionally all his life as well. So that's just two small bits of evidence. If you know other people with adopted children, you may have heard the same. So don't despair if you don't know all your family members. I'm telling you this piece of information also because even those ancestors we may not have met because we didn't live near them, or they lived before we lived on this earth, they have lessons for us too. And the beauty of these meditations that we do with Claudia, who is, of course, also our beloved teacher, is that we get to access a lot of our ancestors that we might not have understood how to get to know before. So even sometimes we'll have meditations in this group where you meet your ancestors, and other times you just kind of know that they're there. You may not see them, but you can trust that your ancestors are near, whether they're your direct bloodline or they're your spiritual family. They're with us. They are around us. They are behind us, as if they are You know that phrase, they've got your back. It's true, they do. They're either beside you, supporting you on either side, like two friends under your arms, helping you stand up even when you feel that you don't have the strength yourself. Your ancestors, your spirit family, and your teachers are with you always. If you remember to listen, if you remember to trust. We all have a foundation because we are not the first generation here. We are, many, many thousands of generations of humans have been accumulating knowledge, have been accumulating wisdom, have been making mistakes, and have been having some wonderful successes. Feel yourself in the matrix of all that is. Not just the humans that came before, but also the animals and the plants. So when I think of a teacher, I often think of a tree because there are lessons we have from trees. So imagine yourself right now with a tree. Stand with it. Feel how the energy of the universe flows into the top of the tree, just as the energy of the universe comes into us every time we breathe in and breathe out. We're breathing in life force. We are breathing out molecules that we have processed and contributed back to this world. We're conscious of it when we're in a small space with other humans. But in a way, we are in this space on Earth with other humans, always. Every time you breathe in and breathe out, you share not just energy, but knowledge. If one person in a group learns, they can teach the others in a group. So visualize yourself now in the circle, in the divine light healing circle as we are. Just breathe in and out comfortably with the others that are here with us. There are those that are here now in the group, and there are those who will come later. And yet when you listen to this on YouTube, you experience that same group effect. Because your guides, your guardians, and your spirit family are still here. They are here with all the wisdom and all the information that you need if you just remember to listen. So think, for example, of something that you feel stressed about deciding or did in the past. You might have written a list. You might have asked other humans that are alive right now. Now try to just, again, breathe in and breathe out. So you've thought of your problem, your dilemma that you need to decide. And now just be aware that around you are helpers, are teachers. Let them surround you. And now think of your problem and feel the answer come to you. So do that for just a minute. Breathe in slowly and breathe out slowly as you think. So as you listen to those outside you, we have the same lesson as from last week, which is that we are not alone and we are very connected. So when you feel those connections, whether people are near you or physically not near you, those answers begin to arrive for you from your dilemma. So depending on where you are and how you felt, you may have heard word answers. But another way to get an answer to any question. Imagine again your situation. And now just feel how it feels if you say yes. Imagine that you've said yes to the situation. And now imagine that you have said no to the situation. Did one of the answers give you happiness? Did one of the answers give you sadness? How did your body feel as you thought yes and no? And now let the hugs and the light and the information come back into your body to clear out that thinking we've done what can feel dark. So let that light come in, and we've got a really pink, loving, glowing light right now. So just rather than it just coming from the top, it's all around you. So feel the swirling, almost like a cotton candy. A beautiful pink, loving light flows through you and reassures you that no matter what you decided, no matter what emotions you have, everything is going to be okay. Whether you say yes or whether you say no, there is always a way forward. There is always a way forward. Now let that pink, comforting light swirl. Stand in the middle of it and swirl. So before we compared ourselves to a tree, we also learned from flowers and nature. So I want you to imagine yourself in the center of a flower. And as the center of a flower, just sitting in there like a little bumblebee or a little fairy, you realize that you are small. You are a seed. But as a seed, you also have all the potential in the world. So as a seed, you are the product of a plant that grew. That plant had its roots in a soil that may have been fertile, or may have been poisoned, or may have been hard and stony. So think about your family, your origins, and the plant that grew that made you. And that plant, no matter what the conditions, somehow it flowered. Even if it came from a stony, hard soil, it found enough water, it found enough sunlight, it found enough love, and it made you. It made you the seed. You the seed. It flowered. Bumblebees came, or honeybees, or other pollinators. Those pollinators had to visit other flowers. You were not made in isolation. You were made from soil. You were made from cooperation. And you were made from nutrition. The love of sunlight and the systems that work in the universe created you as a seed. And now as a seed, eventually, of course, you separate from the parent plant, whether the parent plant dies or the parent plant continues. Whether you fly like a dandelion seed, or whether you drop like an oak seed very close to your parent, very similar to your parent. Still, whether you are near or far, you carry the DNA of your parents. And then you find the soil where you will live. And depending on the soil where you live, you will grow into a big tree or a dandelion or a very stunted 10,000-year-old tree that takes a long time to grow. But the lesson that we learn from those trees that grow slowly is that they have longevity. So if you've had a life that didn't seem to flourish immediately, if you felt that you were a slow developer and you were difficult to teach and you weren't successful right away, well, maybe you are like some of the world's oldest, most revered trees. Maybe you are growing harder and stronger than the trees or the flowers that grew so easily in fertile soil. So whatever soil and whatever DNA that made up you, that made that seed, you became a plant. And then you flourish and you will donate what you have to give to the world, whatever that is and wherever that is. Now, aside from being a plant, a seed can also be an idea. So imagine now that you become the plant that scatters seeds. And now become a teacher who has all of those seeds. You're a teacher who travels. And you want to help the world. So you're traveling with your seeds and you're ready to scatter them. And you notice when you start on the high mountain top with thin air, where the view is very beautiful, that you plant the seeds and you don't see them grow. And you're a young teacher, so you get impatient and you go away and you're very disappointed in those early seeds because you don't feel that those ideas took root. But maybe the case is that those ideas that you offered, those seeds that you planted, were just not in fertile soil at that time. Maybe later on, after you have traveled on, after you have moved out of the lives of the people you offered the ideas or you wrote down the ideas, maybe the water and the sunshine comes later to that place, comes later to those people. Maybe the fertilizer of love that those ideas needed wasn't there when you were there, but they were able to receive those ideas and that love, that fertilizer love after. So in terms of being a teacher of ideas, imagine that you drop your seed on the desert. So when you first drop your seed on the desert, and let's say you learn this time, okay, I came where it's warmer. I came where there's a lot of sunshine, so I'm going to water this seed. But if you put water on desert soil that has not received it for a long time, that desert soil repels the water right away, and the water runs away because that soil is austere and dry, like concrete, and not ready to receive the water right away. And so the floods happen and it runs away. And the seed might go somewhere in the flood, and you don't know where the seed's gone. You don't know where the ideas and the words that you offered have gone. But they landed somewhere. And eventually the soil will soften, the water will soak in, and your ideas will sprout. So this is why, as a teacher, you have to allow your ideas to go. You have to make sure that what you offer is loving and something that you want to sprout if it ends up somewhere that you did not plan. And so fill your chest with gratitude right now, just the feeling of gratitude, not even thinking of anyone. And now think of the people who maybe taught you things that they did not know you were teaching, they were teaching you. Be grateful for the lessons that you've had from unexpected places. Be grateful for those teachers who did their best, even for the infertile soil. And let's just send gratitude to all of the teachers in our society who try to plant the seeds in difficult conditions, who try to do the gardening in the infertile soil, and who give the love that they can give in the conditions that they are under. So by offering our healing to any education system, any parenting arrangement, any relationship between people, the more love there can be in that relationship, the more teaching, learning, and flourishing can happen. But even when the conditions are hard and the faith isn't there, it doesn't mean that nothing's happening just because you don't see something happening. You have to trust that the seeds you plant will flourish. You may not see them flourish, but they will after you are gone. So now let's meditate together as a group, and everyone here and in the circle. Shine our light into all of the school systems and all of the education everywhere, whether within a system or not a system, that they could have the resources they need for the teachers to feel loved themselves, for the teachers to have the resources they need to do their job, for the teachers and the students to feel safe, for the teachers and the students to feel the elements and the resources and the light of success. So imagine any group of students, and now all around this group of students is a giant apple. So a huge shape of an apple is encompassing the students and the teachers. And the sweet nutrition of this apple is nourishing everybody that needs to be there. And the seeds inside the apple will fall to the ground as the students and the teachers consume the apple. The skin is protecting everybody inside who is learning, who is teaching. And as they get what they need and the seeds fall to the ground, and then the outside community starts to contribute the rain and the sun and the compost. So imagine that now everybody is working together, the students and the community, to work in that soil together to plant the seeds with compost and nourishment and apple pulp so that the seeds flourish. So we can see that when everybody works together to fertilize the soil and cherish the conditions, be grateful for the other people that are in the space, grateful for the resources that are available, then those seeds will flourish more. They will grow and learning will happen and more seeds will spread, just like we did as a flower seed. And as you know, let's imagine we're a poppy seed, for example. Every single poppy seed can make a flower that will make thousands of other poppy seeds. And this is exactly like you in your life. You came from 2 people who came from 4 other people who came from 8 other people, all concentrated into you. Breathe in and breathe out, because it's a big idea. Now you will spawn thousands more. Whether you have biological offspring or whether you are just spreading ideas and love in the world, you spread yourself through your action. Every time that you share a smile, every time that you teach by loving example, every time that you write a compliment, every time that you record a TikTok or a speech or a video, it spreads. It's a seed. You may not see where your message spreads. A flood may take the seed away. A wind may blow the seed to distant shores, to different soils, to different lands, different languages. Your teaching will not be lost. Your teaching will be carried, the same as those who taught you live on inside you. They say the fruit of the teacher is the apple, and they say that the number of teaching is 5, like the 5 parts of an apple. Visualize yourself inside a star, because every time you teach, you are a star, and you shine brighter every time you choose to try to offer a lesson by example. So when you offer a lesson by example, you are just doing something and others will see you doing it. And even if you don't know that they see you, they will learn from your actions. Guaranteed. 100% guaranteed. Everybody is learning from everybody else. You may feel that you are not seen, but you are seen, and others learn from you, just from you being yourself. And now the pointy and difficult edges of teaching, if you visualize that 5-pointed star, are when you try to teach by words. Many things cannot be taught by words. Many things can only be taught by doing, by not you doing, but by the student doing. And this is why we try to think of the teacher as someone who lights the flame in others. You cannot just fill up the student with all your knowledge. You can't, they're not a glass that you can fill with all the water of your knowledge. You can talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. And if the soil in the student isn't fertile, the lesson will not grow. What you have to do is visualize, if they are a candle, how can you spark them a light? We've all tried to light a candle that doesn't want to light at some point, and sometimes you have to try again and again and again, and sometimes you try and it burns out, and you try and it burns out. But as a teacher, you keep trying. And sometimes the candle doesn't want to light, and the most loving thing you can do is walk away. Just step away and allow that candle to remain unlit. And maybe the lighter that's going to light that candle is coming along after you. Maybe you are not the teacher for that person, and that's okay. And the most loving thing to do is accept that. Accept that you are a part of a system. You are one of millions of teachers that each person will encounter. You don't have to do it all alone. You know, life is not, the school system gives us the idea that there's things we must learn and it must be done in a certain period of time. Some of the people I've seen that have learned the most amazing lessons did not do it on the time of the schedule. I used to teach math and chemistry, and I have seen so often that students understand the lesson after the test because we are not all on the same schedule. We are each on a timeline that makes sense to us. We each have different soil conditions. We each have different reasons and resources. So we don't know how others learn. All we can do is offer what we have. And at the same token, think now of a teacher that you thought you did not like, and we all have them, and send blessings to them. Send blessings, send the most radiance that you can. Feel pink and yellow light bursting out of your chest and just shining love to teachers that you thought you did not like. Most of us had teachers we thought we did not like who we later found out were a real blessing. Of course, not everybody's wonderful. I'm not trying to say that, but send love. Send love. The ones that you did not like and that hurt you, let's put them in the center of the circle now, all together. I know I'm thinking of one that I don't see any positive in right now, but there must have been, right? People don't teach unless they want to share. So put those bad teachers, those so-called bad teachers, in the center of our circle. And all of us shine light. Shine light and shine prayers that those teachers who seem negative, maybe they're just struggling in very difficult soil conditions themselves right now. Maybe they are not flourishing in their lives right now, or they were given too stony a soil to grow in themselves and their prickly cactuses. So let's just rain beautiful spring rains and gentle sunshine and watch those yucky, bad teachers, those cactusy people flower. Their woody, sort of rotten looking parts fall off. Watch them heal. Their heart edges become soft. And every teacher who is unhappy and who has terrible soil, let's give them nutrition. Give them apples and sweetness and sugar and vitamins. All the lovely, sweet, wonderful things, put it into their soil so that they feel nourished and they feel that they have plenty of resources and plenty of nutrition. And watch them blossom as teachers. Watch the teachers strengthen, stand up taller again. I see almost like light is mushrooming up from the ground. So the teachers are standing in the center of our circle, and Mother Earth and us through the earth, the soil is just sending light up and through teachers, healing teachers, offering them all the energy and healing and love that we have to offer. And they're growing taller. The weariness is lifting from their shoulders. Through the appreciation that they receive, they are given more energy to continue. Appreciation to teachers is like rain to a plant. It just helps them to grow. And so send this bubbling, golden, nourishing light to all teachers. Heal them. Help their shoulders get lighter. Help their stresses lessen. Lift the ceiling so that they feel the sun on their face. And I think I would like to end this with a Cree sort of salutation that I learned from a friend of mine. And he signed our correspondence with all my relations. And I asked him, what does that mean? Well, first I looked it up online. You can too. All my relations, he said, it means we are all connected. We're all one. You know, the systems don't just include us humans, but they include nature. They include the animals. They include the air and the water and the sun and the stone and everything. But the reason it's all my relations in this greeting is because each of us is responsible for our contribution. Each of us affects each other one. Every time we drink water, we are part of the system. Every time we breathe in air, we are part of the system. Every time we breathe out, every word we say, every smile we give, we are part of the system. And so with this awareness that you are part of the wide connection of teachers and learners, you are part of the ancestral knowledge that comes from before you and goes after you, whether you have physical children or whether you just have energetic children who you touch while you are here on earth, you will continue. So be aware of your contribution and give your best. Breathe in deeply, breathe out deeply. I hope you have a wonderful week. See you next time.